My name is James Bowden. I'm a professor of history and humanities at Southern Bible Institute in South Dallas, Texas. I'm reviewing today Mark Van Meerhoof's book, Ancient History, History of Ancient Near East, excuse me. And I did this as part of a course review and intensive study. My specialty is in ancient Near East, more specifically Sumer and Akkad. And so as I was going through this book, I found several things that were done well, but also some things that were not done well. And this book needs some updating. It needs to be touched up. They need to go through a third or fourth edition of this. And so that's mainly what I'll talk about today. Probably the biggest difference and the biggest difficulty is that Meerhoof consistently refers to Sumer and Akkad with the generic label of Babylonia. That is, scholarship makes a difference, and it has for a long time made a difference in labeling this region. Anything before the Neo-Babylonian Empire or later Babylonian periods is referred, the southern area is referred to Sumer, and the northern area is referred to as Akkad. And so I found this very annoying, actually, as I was going through this, because it's not terminologically correct. And so I felt that Meerhoof should have double-checked this, and it was fairly easy to double-check within his sources that he listed. In fact, I have several of the books that he used to compile this one work, and felt that he could have noted that throughout his reading. The other difficulty was that he went to extremes in really putting down the biblical witness in this book. Biblical minimalism is something that he is very good at and very adept at. However, with recent discoveries in Israel, especially around in the Jerusalem region and other areas such as Hatzor, we are finding that this idea of biblical minimalism really doesn't have much of a leg to stand on. And so that is why I say that it needs re-editing, it needs updating, because we're finding more and more evidence that proves that the biblical witness is 100% correct, at least in the history. Now, it is still debated in scholarship the extent of the Israeli and Judite kingdoms. However, when we take an examination of the political situation at that time, the borders were very porous, and so you would find a lot of settlements that were non-Judite, non-Israeli, that were Canaanite or perhaps Philistine in areas that would seem to be technically outside of their normal boundaries and inside those of Israel and Judah. And that was, again, just simply because we're not talking about modern nation states that had such a strong security apparatus. So I felt like he was going to extraordinary and perhaps unnecessary lengths to try to downplay the biblical witness. And again, that is coming from a biased viewpoint, but he is very extreme. And I think that even most secular professors and other people looking at this book might well be warned that the information in here is not correct, and that he could, again, easily have checked multiple sources to correct that information, including the Bible as History, a book on Israeli and Judite warfare entitled Battles of the Bible. And these were books not produced by Christians at all, and they make a very effective argument against biblical minimalism. The rest of the book was good. He has a very readable text, and I appreciate that it is readable. I also appreciate the typeface. eminently readable in that manner. Some of the books that I currently read are just, the typeface is very small and very straining on the eyes. Also, Mira Roof's book is something that I would highly recommend to bachelor students, but definitely if you are a graduate student, you're going to want to look for something much more detailed and deeper. Again, bachelor students or somebody who is a non-expert, somebody who's looking for just reading up on the history of the ancient Near East would find this really great. But if you're a graduate student, I would point you towards a book like J.N. Postgate's Ancient Mesopotamia, uh, Early Mesopotamia, excuse me, the Dawn of Society. And so also, I would also recommend the Uruk World System as being a very pivotal role and book to read to understand, again, on the graduate level. So that is my review. I gave it 3 stars, again, for technical, for the readability, for the accessibility, and for some of the other attendant things that he does in this book. However, he gets a couple of knocks for technical reasons. Again, the very annoying Babylonian references, which do not meet technical standards, as well as the biblical minimalism, to which he goes to, I think, an extra degree than what is necessary and what I've even read in other textbooks on the subject. Thank you. Have a great day.